Okay, boys and girls, I have one more Robert Munsch story called Look at Me, illustrated by Michael Markinchenko and published by Scholastic. So, boys and girls, have you ever had it where you think something's really special and you want to show it to mom and dad, but they're not always listening to you? I know I sometimes do that to my kid, and that's what happens to this little girl, too. Look at me. When Madison's grandma came to visit, everyone decided to go for a walk downtown. In front of City Hall, Madison said, "Look, look, look! I found a ticket for free face painting at the park." "Neat," said Madison's grandma. "Let's go to the park." At the park, Madison got in a long, long line. A girl came and said, "Get a scary face like mine." "No," said Madison. A boy came and said, "Get a tiger face like mine." "No," said Madison. A girl came and said, "Get a butterfly face like mine." "No," said Madison. Finally, it was Madison's turn. "I want," said Madison, "just on my cheek, a small, perfect rose that looks really real." "Really real?" said the face painter. "Really real," said Madison, and the face painter spent a long, long time painting a small, perfect rose that looked really real. "That's a nice flower," said Madison's dad. "Now let's go look in some stores." At the hardware store, when her father was looking at drills and saws, Madison whispered, "Daddy, I think my flower is growing." "That's nice," said her father. "Daddy," whispered Madison, "look, look, look! Please really look at me. My flower is growing. There was just one rose, and now there are two." Is Madison's father listening to her? No, he's too excited about that power drill he wants. Madison's father looked very closely at Madison's face and said, "Why, there really are two roses, one on each cheek. But I think it was that way already." At the kitchen store, when her mother was looking at pots and pans, Madison said, "Mommy, my flower is growing." "That's nice," said Madison's mother. "Mommy," said Madison, "look, look, look! Please really look at me. My flower is growing. There was just one rose, and now there are three." Madison's mother looked very closely at Madison's face and said, "Why, there are three roses. I thought you asked for just one." "I did ask for one rose," said Madison. "Well, I guess the face painter gave you three," said Madison's mother. At the ice cream shop, Madison said, "Grandma, my flower is growing." "That's nice," said Madison's grandma. "Grandma," said Madison, "look, look, look. Please really look at me. My flower is growing. There was one rose, and now there are 24, and I think a leaf is growing out of my ear." Then Madison turned over her arms. 10 roses were going down each arm, and while her grandma looked, another rose grew on the end of each stem. "One rose was nice," said Madison. 26 is too many." "This is serious," said Madison's grandma, and she picked up Madison and ran down the street to the doctor's office. The doctor was no help. She said, "I know a lot about people, but not a lot about plants." "Let's try the garden store," said Madison. At the garden store, the man behind the counter said, "Weed poison! Check out our wonderful weed whomper!" "Ah!" yelled Madison. No, weed whomper. Could you imagine if he sprayed that at Madison? Whew, she'd be a goner. I know, said Madison. Let's be nice to the rose. I will go home and take a nap with a large flower pot beside my bed, and maybe the rose will go and live in the flower pot. When Madison woke up, there was a huge rose bush in the flower pot and just one perfect rose on her cheek. Madison's grandma took the rose bush home and planted it in her garden, where it stayed until it found a better place to grow. Where did it grow? On the plant guy who's gonna weed whomper it. I hope you enjoyed this story.